Morning 5 on Monday, August 25th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle, joined by the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic, and it is finally game week. We can say that it is game week. The Buckeyes kick off against Navy this Saturday at noon in Baltimore. We're going to start off talking about recruiting. What else will we do? We have the Dean on the line. First up, Bill, Torrance Gibson looked fantastic over the weekend, led his team, American Heritage, to a 49-23 victory over Dwyer High School. He had 5 touchdown passes. He had another rushing touchdown. I guess so much for the idea that this kid needs to be a wide receiver, huh? He's a quarterback all the way. I know Ohio State's been telling him that. And furthermore, not only does he look good, it looks good for the Buckeyes. Ryan Bartow came out with the story that the Buckeyes are atop by themselves on Gibson's list. So talk about Gibson kind of solidifying himself as a quarterback perhaps, and where the Buckeyes stand with Torrance Gibson.
Well, there's no doubt that he plans to be a quarterback in college, and anybody that recruits him for anything different is simply not going to end up with Torrance Gibson. He does not want to talk about moving to wide receiver. But having said that, he also realizes that if for some reason it wouldn't work out, then he would be open to a move. But he's not open to that initially in college. He wants to be a quarterback. He says he's going to do everything in his power to become a great quarterback. And right now, unless things change, it certainly looks very, very positive. As you mentioned, Ryan Bartow had a story on it basically being a one-team race for Torrance Gibson, and that one team is Ohio State. He'll make his official visit to Ohio State the weekend of September 6th when the Buckeyes play Virginia Tech. Torrance has indicated to me that he's going to be scheduling some other official visits. A couple schools he's mentioned include Oklahoma and Arizona. But right now, certainly Ohio State is the big-time leader for Torrance Gibson.
And that comes as no surprise to me after watching him at Friday Night Lights, the way he interacted with the fans, and he just seemed like he wanted to be a Buckeye, and they've been his favorite from the beginning. I mean, I know it's been a roller coaster recruitment, but it's glad to see it come full circle, and that Torrance Gibson will likely be a Buckeye. And sticking with recruiting, but some unfortunate news, it sounds like. Van Jefferson, another roller coaster recruitment, Bill. The wide receiver will announce his intentions later today. What are you hearing about Van Jefferson?
It's been quite a ride with him, as you mentioned, Dave. At one point, it looked really good for Ohio State. Things started then to turn towards Tennessee, but Ohio State continued to be right in the battle for Van Jefferson. But now everything I am hearing and everything, my expectation is that he will announce that he is going to Georgia. Now, again, I've kind of used this saying before. I wouldn't bet the ranch on it, so to speak, because, as we know, recruiting is a very inexact science. But right now, that's the expectation, that he's going to announce for Georgia. But as I mentioned in what I am hearing this morning, that doesn't necessarily mean the recruiting battle is over for Van Jefferson. I fully expect the Buckeyes to stay in contact, engage with Van Jefferson, and there's a chance he still makes official visits after he announces his decision. So, we'll see how it goes. But it's been a roller coaster ride in that, selling the entire family on one school has been somewhat difficult, really. And I think that picking Georgia, it could be a situation where, Tennessee was a favorite and Ohio State is a favorite, and then Georgia ends up being kind of the agreed-upon school, and perhaps that's exactly what's going to happen today.
And I haven't got your take on this in a while. Just real quick, they have 15 commitments right now in their 2015 class. If you had to put an exact number on it, how many recruits will the Buckeyes sign in their 2015 class?
Well, I really think it'll be at least 20. Could be as many as 21. I think there's an outside chance it could go to 22. Right now they have spots for 18 players in this recruiting class, and as we know, they have 15 right now, but there's no way that if they get the right guys, they're only going to stop or only going to add 3 more prospects. If they can get, say, a Damian Harris, a Josh Sweat, the 5-star defensive end, Torrance Gibson, right there, that's 3 prospects, and then there's certainly a number of other prospects that they could get as well. They want another offensive lineman, for instance, in this recruiting class. They want another linebacker in this recruiting class. So when all is said and done, I really think the number is going to go from 18 to at least 20, maybe 21 or 22. And if it's the right 4 or 5 guys, maybe 6 guys, then Ohio State could end up with a great class, and they could end up closing in spectacular style because they do have a number of five-star prospects that are really difference makers that could end up in this class.
For the listeners that are wondering right now, Ohio State is ranked 15th in the recruiting rankings in the 24/7 Sports Composite for the 2015 class. So the Buckeyes are ranked 15th. Penn State leads the Big Ten. They are ranked 6th. Other Big Ten schools of note, Michigan is 19th, when Wisconsin is 20th. And Michigan State's 24th. So teams in the Big Ten teams in the top 24. Ohio State 15th. I look for that to definitely be in the top 10 by signing day. I don't think it's going to be another top 5 class, but I think it'll be another top 10 class. And then to let the listeners know what's coming on the site today, we have the first Urban Meyer press luncheon of the season. So we're going to chat with Coach Urban Meyer around noon. Then we're going to get Tom Herman and Luke Fickell right after that. We're also going to chat with Taylor Decker, Nick Van Nett, Evan Spencer, Josh Perry, and Armani Reeves. So look for stories, videos, bolts on all of the events today. We're also going to have the boarding house posted a little bit after noon. We'll have an update on the Craig Krenzel situation. We'll have information on Ohio State going even more with an up-tempo offense, and we'll have even more on recruiting. Thank you to the Dean of Ohio State Football Recruiting, Bill Kurlick. Thank you to the listeners out there. Take it away, best damn band in the land.